right? And I want to introduce one library, which is called PGVector, or not library, but like technology, PGVector, which is an extension for Postgres, right? So with Postgres, you can install this extension, and then you can have vector search. There are many other libraries. For example, Elasticsearch supports vector search. There are special built library technologies with vector databases like Quadrant, like ChromaDB, or like there are many of them. But I'll go with something simple. I'll use Postgres. Many people know Postgres. If you took our data engineering course, we used Postgres there too. So I'll just illustrate with the same concept we just did. I'll illustrate it with Postgres. So instead of using SQLite as the database that is supporting this persistent vector search, I'm going to rely on Postgres. Right? I'm going to run Postgres in Docker. So because I'm running on code spaces, I already have Docker installed in there. If you don't have Docker, you will need to install it. And right now it is running it. So I will not go into details what exactly this command is doing. If you don't know that, you can ask ChatGPT or take our data engineering course there in the module number 1. Maybe I'll show you data engineering Zoomcamp. In module number 1, we go into a lot of detail about Docker, how it works. Or not how it works, but how you use it. Okay, so now this thing is running. So we have it here running in our databases in Docker. And I will start a new notebook. I'll call it Vector Search PGVector. And what I will do is I will do, again, ingestion process. I will ingest into a vector search table in Postgres, and then we'll do the second part too. For simplicity, I will do it inside one Jupyter notebook, but in principle, you should know that it doesn't have to be inside with the same notebook. It can be 2 different notebooks in one, or notebook, not notebooks. Actually, you shouldn't use notebooks for like real deployments. You will probably have a script for ingesting that puts data inside your Postgres, and then you'll have another application that is connected to this Postgres and uses the data. Or if instead of Postgres you use something else, it will be something else. Okay, let's implement that. So I will need to add one more dependency. So this dependency is called psycopg. I don't know why this name, why psycopg, but yeah, so this is the name of the library. So this is what lets us connect to Postgres from Python. And then we will need to do the same thing over again. The same thing being we will need to get our data set. We will need to apply this sentence transformer to this data set in batches, and then create this matrix. Actually, the part with matrix is kind of not needed, so remove that, and let me also remove this part. So this was relevant when I was showing you how to do vector search. But now, since all these vectors are here, okay, we implemented this here. So our vectors, we have ingested all the vectors. Sorry, we haven't ingested them yet. We have encoded them. We only have encoded. So now we need to actually ingest them. For that, we need to connect to Postgres. So we use this psycopg database. Oh, did I not install it? Okay, now it works. So first thing we do is we connect to the database, and second row here is create extension if not exists vector. So what this does, it activates the extension called PGVector. So this Docker command that we used, it actually runs PGVector, which is Postgres with vector extension. So it's not plain Postgres. There is one extension that is already there inside. It's called PGVector, which allows to do vector search on top of Postgres. And then we create our database. So this is the database we create. We call it documents. So this is plain SQL from this point, with a little twist for computed similarity, but for most of it is just a Visual SQL, right? So we define what exactly we have in our database. So we have ID, course, section, question, answer. And now we need to insert it. So we insert it. So this is how we insert it. We insert into documents, course, section, question, answer, embedding. And here we have casting. So we cast a vector into, like this string into a vector. And yeah, we need to follow a special syntax to take a NumPy array and turn it into something that Postgres PGVector understands. But that's what we need to do, right? So we go through all the documents and we insert them into the database, right? And then we have this structured part, and then we have this embedding part. And because this is SQL, filtering by course is trivial. It's just a where statement. Okay, so our data now is in Postgres, and we can, in principle, stop this process and start a new one and connect to this database. But what I'll do is I'll just continue in the same notebook. So then I want to check. I just discovered the course. Can I still join it? So what we do here is we turn this into a vector, and then this we need to turn it into like a special string. We did it here, right? So when we were inserting, we were turning this NumPy array into a string. So basically, this is a string that looks like that. Right? So now we have this, and we can use it now in Postgres like that. So what we do is we select course, question, answer, then the similarity. And this thing is, okay, we have this -s, which is our vector. And we actually don't really know if we need it or not, but this is our similarity. But then the important part here is that we order by this. So we take the like our similarity, right? We order by it and we return it. So now this is what we get. And again, so this is like it's all over the place from different courses. What we can do is, if we want to filter by course, is we replace this part. Let me just create a similar other one. So we just add one more clause, where we say course must be equal to this one, and we filter by the course. And now this is our results. So pretty simple. It's doing the same thing as other things, but chances are that you're going to use Postgres at work are much higher. Probably Postgres, I wouldn't be surprised if it's used like everywhere. Like no matter where you go, you'll find Postgres. And this one is actually doing brute force search. For our case, it's fine, right? So we don't have a lot of documents, but it's comparing everything with everything, or not everything. It's running the comparison of our document, our vector, with all the documents we have in our database. If we don't want that, if we want to have approximate search, then we create an index. So this index is hierarchical navigatable small word or something like this. hierarchical navigatable small words. So this is a type of index that you use for this approximate search. Like, if you're interested, you can read more about that. It's outside of the scope for this course. But this is like the now the best performing index, like state of the art kind of thing. Okay, so now we have this this thing. So I want to wrap it nicely inside a single function. So inside this single function, what we do is first step is encoding this. Second thing, yeah. So this is basically turning our query into a vector. And then the second thing what we do is execute this thing and we return the results, right? So, and now it follows the same pattern as everything else we did before. So now it will return all the things from LLM Zoomcamp, question, section, answer, right? In the same format as we did before. One last thing we need to do is just put this inside a rack class, right? It's going to be a little bit different from what we did before, because here we just use index, right? So our SQL search, but this is basically what we need to redefine now. We need to redefine again search because this is the only step we change. And this search, if you see, looks exactly like this function. So what we are basically doing here is we're taking this function and we are putting it inside our class, right? And plus we need embedder, plus we need to have connection. And we're also setting index to none because if we go to Ragbase, it requires an index. If we don't provide an index, it will complain. So it's kind of hard to make it not complain because we don't use index here. We use only connection. And if I do this, now I create an instance of this thing. So yeah, again, I need to initialize OpenAI client. I did it here. I haven't done it here in this notebook yet. And then I create an assistant. So we have the embedder, we have the connection. This is Postgres connection, and then the client. And then I can ask any question I want.